Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and today I wanted to give an update on the iPad Pro 10.5 inch. This is the 2017 model. In 2021, I'm making this video right at the end of 2020, but I don't think with this product there's going to be much change between now and 2021. We already have our iPad OS 14 on it. I don't know if there'll be another update for it before this year's over. And even if there is, I don't think it'll be anything significant to it. So I'm just going to say this will probably mirror the experience you'll have on this device throughout most of 2021 until iPad OS 15. So I think I'll tag it in the cards or maybe put it in the comments or description. The video I did last year, which I think I was a bit more picky about. I got upgraded to a new iPad now. So this one's starting to fade out of memory a wee little bit. But for me, I think to summarize it, it still gets the job done. It's still a very good device, but I just wanted to future-proof and I've never really bought a brand new Apple device. I bought cases and things, but I was willing to pay full price for the amount that I use an iPad, but this one was still really getting the job done. Again, it's just a good, it's thin, it's lightweight. Doesn't have USB-C though. And you have those nice smaller antenna bands. You do have a better camera. It's not the little cluster of the LiDAR that the newer one has, but that's not a big deal. And again, you have not really a desktop, but you have that little bit better setup with iPad OS, which this can run, and I assume can run it for years to come. And you have the 120 hertz screen, so that's somewhat of an advantage with this 2017 Pro model compared to a 2019 or 2020 iPad that I think they're at 10.2 or something, but they basically are the same body, but they don't have 4 speakers and they don't have the 120 hertz screen. So there's still some advantage to this, although you're getting a new device with the good battery life compared to this one that's starting to age. Now the battery life could still get me through a full day. I don't use them insane, but I probably use 4 to 5 hours some days, maybe more if I'm doing something on them. So I could always get through a day. A lot of times I'd charge it with 30 or 40 because I knew I wouldn't get through the next day. But sometimes I would maybe go through most of it, but it still was a full day of heavier use probably than most people. I think a lot of people just use them to watch a video or a movie or email, where I use them for everything. Email, do a lot of my YouTube work on the iPad, watch a lot of YouTube on the iPad, do all my web browsing on the iPad, most of my purchasing on the iPad, so I use it for everything. So it's getting use all day. Speed-wise, again, it's pretty fast. The limiting factor for me will probably just be my internet, but you can get in. I think I'm actually signed out of some things because I haven't been using it for a while, but I think that's all, my internet connection slowing me down a bit there. Let's see what else. But everything opens up nice. And again, that scrolling's a lot better with the 120 hertz. Now, one of the problems that I had, and I don't think it is near the impact with iPad OS 14, but you can see here that I like to keep that widget up for the memory usage. It's almost always maxed out. And I have a few apps open. I'm not sure if any get suspended. See, the first I think I opened up the browser. That one's still running. App Store, that doesn't use much. So I don't have enough open right now. But it pretty much always maxes out the memory. And I didn't notice that years ago when I first got this in 2018. It never seemed to refresh. It won't right now because I don't have that many tabs in Chrome open because that's the RAM killer, I guess. But that's something I've run into on eBay a lot when I'm scrolling through looking for a certain thing, and I'll open maybe like 5, maybe 10 tabs of that same product, just trying to find the one in the best shape, or the best shipping, or the description, or whatever. So I don't want to open one and go back, so I open them in tabs. And a lot of times when I'd go back, it would start to refresh. Now that happens still on this, and the easiest way to fix this is to restart the device. But that's such an odd thing, because before, I would restart a device maybe like once or twice a month, but you didn't need to. And with this, I found myself needing to do it almost once a week, if not more, because it would do that more frequently, as it still seems like some type of memory leak. But I'm not an expert on stuff like this. And there was someone in the comments of my video from last year that did make a good comment, saying that you want most of your processes in the RAM so they're ready to go. And I could see that, but a lot of times, if I had everything closed, that RAM's not going to go up too much. So it seems like it would have to be pushing other things out then. See, now it has increased by 700 megabytes, but it's still the majority of it's being used, and being used by what? Just the iPad OS. Why would it need to use that much? I get that it's more feature rich now, but that's still a lot being taken up. But to me, I can almost never, if I restart it, which I think I'll do, I still can't get it ever much above 1 gigabyte. And that's just where I notice more things reloading. But aside from that, though, everything else with this device works just fine. And you can see, I'll give it a few more seconds, because sometimes you get that little spinning thing until it's completely shut down. But that gives you a bit of a speed test on startup, which is still really good. And again, for more technical things, maybe check my video from last year. I just want to summarize it and tell you how I feel about it. Still a great device. I got a few little chips in the chamfered edges from dropping it, but I have a screen protector on it. Everything works excellent on it still. Charges fast with the 18 watt or 20 watt charger. This is a cellular model, but I don't use that anymore. And see, now we have 2 gigs, so that's as good as you'll ever see it. And that's one thing I've always noticed. I don't know if it's because I think I turned location off on the iPad, but not on the iPhone or something. So that always needs reconfigured after a restart. But aside from that, it's still a good device. And I think I'm just rambling at this point. Would I recommend one? Not really. If you can get one for $300 or less, and it's not junk, it has to be in good shape, then yeah. Because the new iPad I got, the Pro 2020 model, was $750, and that was on sale, because I think it's normally $799. Unless somehow you can find that one in excellent condition for $500 or less, then I say pay more for that. But that's a $500 difference from maybe $300 price point, $250, $350. Usually you look locally, you'll find better deals compared to $600, $700, or full price $800 for the new one. There is some life left in this, but if you have the money, everything's just that much better on the new iPad. But if you have this, you can still get life out of it as long as the battery's not shot. And it still is an excellent device. I believe this was still a 3-core processor, to where the new one's a 6-core. So it is somewhat faster, and it should be able to do editing and such much faster on the new one, but for day-to-day use. And the biggest thing is the new one can do up to 4K on YouTube, which is something I like, to where this can only do 1080 60 frames. But aside from that, it still gets the job done. And I think I'll do a comparison of the two. I'm not sure how much it can show beyond this, but I might show a little more speed-wise in those two together. So thanks for watching. If you have an iPad for this one for 2021, I think you can still make it through the year with it, and we can make it without the world falling apart through the next year. So thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one. Have a good one.